Okay, so we're going to begin today sitting up. You can sit however you want to, maybe with your ankles crossed. Allow your eyes to close. Have a couple of breaths. So for today's hip practice, what we're going to do is allow the centering, the initial centering, to be accompanied by movement. So all we're going to do is take a few deliberate breaths in a moment, and then we're going to right away start moving, coordinating, moving, and breathing, and allow that initiation into the meditation to be, again, the warm-up. So whenever you're ready to. Exhale however the body pleases, however you want to. And then inhale. Keep inhaling, keep inhaling. Hold it, hold your breath. And then really slowly exhale. Inhale. Hold your breath. Soften your eyes. And slowly, slowly exhale. Keep on exhaling. Keep exhaling. And then inhale. Hold it. And slowly, slowly exhale. Inhale, lift your chest up. And exhale, relax. Inhale, lean your torso over to the left and then forward. And exhale over to the right and back. Over, inhale, to the left and forward. Exhale to the right and back. Keep going. Starting to establish a rhythm of movement. And again, allowing this to be quite meditative. So you might get lost in the sort of texture of the breath. And then let's go in the other direction. So the next time you are back, inhale to shift over towards your right leg and forward. And then your left leg and back. It is perfectly fine and wise to not control this very much, not try to make any sort of perfect shape. But it might be interesting to notice if there is a place where you're deliberately skipping over or moving really quickly through. And perhaps explore that spot a little bit more, whether it's near your hips or your back. And then when you're ready to, maybe after this next circle, inhale to take your arms up towards the ceiling. And when you exhale, feel as though you could lift your sit bones up behind you like cow pose and then lean your torso over your legs. Inhale, sit up, twist a little bit over to the left, and then exhale, lean your torso over your legs. If it's too much to have the arms up, just put them on the floor behind you. Lift back up, twist a little bit over the right, and then lean over your right leg. We'll do one more time, all three. So once to center, breathe in, reach the fingertips towards the ceiling, exhale, fold over your legs. Right in between them. Come on back up. Twist a little to the left. Fold over your left leg. Back up. Twist a little to the right. And fold over your right leg. Back up. Bring the right fingertips to the floor behind you and your left hand to your right leg. Inhale, lift your right knee up. Hold on to it tightly with your hand. Exhale, anchor that knee down. Inhale, come on back to center, reach your arms up, and exhale, twist over to the left. As you're ready, inhale, take the left knee up. Exhale, anchor it down. And then the next time you inhale, come on back to center and forward onto hands and knees. See if you can settle your knees right under the hips. So your hips are not forward of the knees and they're not behind the knees. And then when you're ready to, inhale, lift your right knee up behind you. Exhale, take your right heel and drive it towards your sit bone. Inhale, straighten that right leg, lift the knee really high. Exhale, bend the knee. Inhale, straighten it. Exhale, heel to sit bone. Keep the knee really lifted. Straighten. Heel as close to sit bone as you can get it. And then allow that right knee to drop down towards the floor. But then lift it right back up. And down, heel towards sit bone. Yeah. And up. And down with your breath. And up. And down. And up. And down. Now this time, take that right knee, reach it out to the right, straighten the leg, lower your foot towards the floor, lift it up, towards the floor, lift it up, towards the floor, lift it up, towards the floor, lift it up. Now when you're ready to, lift it really high and start to paint a big circle as if you had a paintbrush on your big toe, and allow that leg to reach up and then over to the left so the toe maybe taps the floor beyond your left hip. Reach the leg back up and over to the right and back down. Back up and over to the left and down. Up and over to the right and down. Up and over to the left and down. And then let's settle that right knee on the floor next to the left knee. Open your knees really far away from each other. When you're ready to, inhale, lean far forward into your hands, and exhale, let your hips drop towards your heels, child's pose. Inhale, lean forward. Exhale, back. You might even walk your hands a little further forward if you want to. One more time, inhale forward. And exhale back. Inhale, settle back onto hands and knees with your knees under your hips. Fingers spread nice and wide. Take that left knee and lift it up behind you. Lift through a little bit your lower back and the back of the neck. And when you're ready, straighten that left leg. And then bend it again, heel to sit bone. And then straighten it. And then bend it. Straighten. Bend. Lean into your hands. Straighten. Bend. And when you're ready to, take that left knee, lift it really high, and then lower it towards the ground. And then lift it up again. And towards the ground. And back up. With your breath, lower and lift. Lower and lift. Lower. Heel to sit bone, lift. Now lower and take that left knee out to the left. Straighten your leg. Let your foot rest on the floor for a moment. But then lift it up again. And lower it. And up. And lower. Lean into your left hand and lift it up. And lower. Lift your leg one more time. And lower. Now lift the leg, paint this big circle like you had paintbrushes on every toe and you were trying to take that circle, that rainbow shape beyond your right hip, and then the toes land near the floor to your right. But then lift your leg back up, retrace your steps, and take your foot back over to the left. Keep going. Keep on going. And remember that you might benefit in many, many ways from not approaching this as a results-driven kind of process, but as though what you are doing now, the sensations you're feeling now, that is the point. The goal is exactly what you feel right now, not what's going to happen later. And then when you're ready to, you can take that knee and settle it on the floor next to your right knee. From here, shift your weight forward into your hands. You might even walk them forward like a plank pose, and then you'll lower your body down onto the mat. Roll onto your side. You can choose which, because we're going to do one right after the other. Maybe it's the side that makes it easier for you to see the screen. And you're going to rest your head on your bottom arm. And then you're going to scoot your knees really close to your belly. So it's a bit like child's pose or the fetal position. Now the part of your waist that's facing the floor, lift it up towards the ceiling. Lift your waist, lift your rib cage up towards the ceiling. Take your top leg and lift it too. Go ahead and find your breath. Straighten that leg and bend it. Straighten it and bend it with your breath. Now let's straighten it, leave it there, and lift it up and lower. Maybe inhale, lift it. Exhale, lower. You can switch that if you want. Now again, moving as though, thinking as though, what is happening right now, exactly what you feel, exactly what you locate. That's the goal. That's what you're looking for. Not what happens later or tomorrow, but this is it. This is the whole point. Even that intense thing that you're going through right now, even that's the point. When you're ready, take that foot that you're lifting, lower it some so it hovers off the floor, point your foot, and paint like there was a paintbrush on every toe, little circles. Maybe they're about the size of a volleyball. Lift your waist up towards the ceiling. Paint those circles in the other direction, little circles, not too big. Yeah, the size of a volleyball maybe. Lift your waist, lift your rib cage. And bend your knee. And let your whole body just collapse. As if for just a moment you were falling asleep. Notice your breath. And just lift yourself up to sit, but then roll onto the other side. So you make a pillow with your arm and you snug your knees in. Your lifted hand, you can put it on the floor, you can put it on your hip, you can reach it towards the ceiling, whatever you want to. But the side of your waist and your rib cage that's on the floor, lift it up. And then go ahead and lift your top leg a little bit. See how it feels. When you're ready, straighten that leg. So you're reaching your foot forward. And then you're going to lift it and lower. Lift it and lower. I forgot the bend and unbend. We'll do that next. Lift it and lower. Lift. Good. Lower. 2 more. And when you're ready, bend your knee, heel to sit bone, and straighten your leg. About 5 times. Doesn't have to be perfect. But the knee is hovering a few inches off of your bottom leg, off of the floor. Now, the next time you straighten your leg, leave it there. About 5, 7 times, you're going to trace, paint circles with your foot. And then in the other direction. Lift your waist, lift your rib cage off the floor. Can you do 2 more? Small. Reach that foot forward. And then bend your knee. And imagine every muscle of your body, every cell of every skeletal muscle just got the signal to let go, to relax. Find your breath. And make your way up to hands and knees. And then into downward dog, which might actually feel pretty good. You can pedal through the legs, or you can be still, benefits to both. Notice your breath. Walk up to the front of your space and fold forward. Inhale, place the hands to the legs, lift your back up some, gaze forward. And exhale, fold. Come all the way up to stand, take extra time, extra breaths if you want to. And then relax your arms down so the hands land on the hips or on the waist, whatever you want to. Lean into your left foot and then take your right foot and reach it out to the right. Put the toes to the floor. When you're ready, clamp onto the floor with your left foot and lift your right leg higher and lower. And higher, stand really tall. Try not to side bend, and lower. And higher. Now trace a big old circle with that right foot and step it back so you land in warrior two. When you're ready, straighten that front leg and bend it. Straighten it. Exhale, bend it. One more time, but then leave it bent and dive into your breath. As you're exhaling, bring your fingertips to the floor. Lift your back knee, put it down, or lift your back heel, put the knee down. Take your left foot and walk it over to your right hand. And then take that left shin and shift it forward onto the floor for pigeon press. When you're ready to, you might check to see if your back foot is lined up with your knee. You don't have to. If you've got your leg facing the wall instead of the floor, that's okay. Whatever feels best for you. But have a breath. And then bring your forearms down so you're folded over your left leg. So if at any point you'd rather do this stretch on your back, feel free. But if you're content here, again, go into your breath, go into the texture of the breath. As you're ready, walk your forearms in. Tuck the toes of the back foot. Lift the knee. And then step your left foot back to meet your right. And then bend your knees so they hover off the floor. Your knees hover off the floor. If it's too much, put them all the way down. That's okay too. Now lift your right foot and bring your heel towards your sit bone and then straighten your leg, put your toes back down. Soften the knees a little. Lift your left foot like you're kicking yourself gently in the sit bone and then lower the foot down. One more time each leg. And then release your knees. Walk your hands in. Head into downward dog. And walk, hop, whatever you want, up to the front of your mat, folding when you get there. Lift the back up some, look forward. And exhale, fold. Come on up to stand, reach up, maybe look up. And release your hands to your hips or your waist. It's interesting to keep the hands to the waist or the hips here so you can prevent unintentional movement of the torso and see how much of a core exercise some of this hip stuff can be too. So take your left foot and just reach it out to the left. Maybe put the toes to the floor and find your balance in your breath. When you're ready, try not to move your torso. Inhale, lift your left leg higher and then lower it some. Lift it higher, focus your eyes, lower it some. Lift it higher, lower. And then as you're ready, lift it. And you can let your torso move now. Make this big circle with your leg until eventually the toes land on the floor behind you. And you bend your right knee, warrior two. Take all the time you need. Find your balance, find your breath. As you're ready to, with your right hip, shifting over to the right a little bit, really holding onto the floor with your big toe and your heel, straighten that right leg, and then bend it. Twice more with your breath. And then you'll leave your knee bent, go to your breath. And when you exhale, bring your fingertips to the floor, spin your back heel up, put the knee down, and you're going to toe heel your front foot over to the left hand, your knee over to the right hand, and then allow your right shin to settle down to the floor. So you can do any variation of pigeon prep that feels really good on your joints. You feel a bit of a pull, a tug, a stretch in your right outer hip. Remember, you don't have to have anything perfectly lined up. You can put as much support from pillows or blocks or blankets underneath you as you're in the mood for. And again, play with this mindset, which I'd encourage doing often, not just doing uncomfortable yoga poses, but when you're listening to someone, when you're working, when you're doing something that has friction or a bit of a challenge, just play with remembering that the feeling you're in is the point. It's supposed to feel like that. Walk the forearms in. Tuck the toes of the back foot if they're not. Lift your hips a little bit and then send your right leg back to meet your left. Eventually placing your knees all the way to the floor. And from there, lift your sit bones up like cow pose. So you're having that anterior tilt in the pelvis. You might just stay here. You might stretch your arms forward and lower your chest towards the floor. So it's more of a back bend, but an easy back bend. Nothing where you feel like you're using your back too much. And if that doesn't feel sweet and you'd rather be in child's pose, do that instead.
Ready.
And come onto your back. Stretching the left leg long, hugging the right knee in. And let's take that right hip over to the left. And just have a breath here. Come on back to center. Stretch your right leg long, take your left knee in. And take that left knee over to the right. And have a breath. And come on back to center. Stretching your legs out on the floor. Getting comfortable. We're going to do a little bit of 4-7-8 breathing to relax. So you're going to breathe in for a count of 4, hold it for a count of 7, breathe out for a count of 8. This is easy. It feels really good. When you're ready to, breathe in and breathe out. Nice and easy. Feel your face soften. And then inhale, keep inhaling, keep inhaling. Hold it, 2, 3, keep holding it, 5, 6, 7. And then exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep exhaling, 8. And then inhale for 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let go of the breath. Let go of it all, whatever comes up, with a little space between it and any response to it. And begin to move, stretch, whatever feels pleasant. Eventually roll onto your side. And with the least amount of effort as possible, come up to sit. And have this short moment to yourself. And if you'd like to fold forward, bring the hands behind you, sit a little taller, and again, fold over the legs. Thank you very, very much.